Hey y'all, it's Elizabeth Weimiller, and I am coming at you with your April 2024 insights and astro forecast and kind of what to be aware of. We have a lot of energy going on in April, which I will be sharing with you. For those that only watch the videos on YouTube or Vimeo, I apologize for not being here last month. If you don't subscribe to my newsletter, I was dealing with a family emergency. Everything's good now, but that did take priority, so the video didn't happen because family comes first in my world. So just in case you only watch the videos, that's where I was last month, and that's why you should subscribe to my newsletter because I will always get out a written version, even if I cannot do video. I will put a link below this video so that you can go subscribe. It's free. I do not spam you. I do once a month unless something big is happening, like, I don't know, Jupiter getting ready to change signs into from Aries to Taurus in the sidereal system, which is going to be happening. So you still have time to join and get all the details on that before the newsletter comes out. Anyways, with that being said, let's kind of dive into April. We kind of start April off with a big punch. My newsletter subscribers already know this, but Mercury turns retrograde and stations to turn retrograde on April 1st. So we are literally diving into the month of April with potential communication issues, potential for travel issues, potential for transportation issues. I don't, you know, just patience. As I always say, put your patience pants on, go grab them out of the closet, put them on. Don't leave extra time to get places, leave extra time while driving. It's going to be really important to do that. I always say with Mercury retrograde, it's a time to think through what you're saying. It's a time to be very present. It's a time to really truly listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. If you have to ask clarifying questions, those are highly recommended during this time. But just know that Mercury retrograde, there is a lot that could go potentially a little funky, some communication, miscommunications, and travel issues, as I mentioned. Mercury will start its retrograde in the sign of Aries, and then it will retrograde back into Pisces on April 9th. Now, what this means is that Mercury is going to be crossing that sensitive point of the Gandanta point. So that's going to be from April 7th to April 11th, and it's considered the emotional knot. It's a point where a lot of emotions can surface and make you more sensitive and make others more sensitive. So just be aware of that with the added, layer of Mercury retrograde going on. Um, During its retrograde, it will move back in through Pisces. It will be softened a little bit as Venus will also be in Pisces for part of that time. Venus and Mercury will be in Pisces together from April 9th until April 24th. Mercury is weaker in Pisces. Venus is at its strongest in Pisces. Now, there are some Vedic texts that talk about that a retrograde planet in its sign of what's considered debilitation, which just means you have to work 3 times harder for that energy. They do say that that almost makes it act exalted. So just know, be very mindful of communication, be mindful of technology, be mindful of transportation. Just know things could be very, up in the air, little who knows which way it's going to go. But if you really know it's coming, you can really pay attention to it. Now, April April 25th is when Mercury will station direct. So just know April 1st, April 25th, Mercury is retrograde. Now, we're going to add one more thing into this crazy, crazy mix. Well, we're going to add a couple more things. Again, I give more to my newsletter subscribers, so you should go subscribe. But added into Mercury retrograde, we have a solar eclipse on April 8th. And if you've been not paying attention, then you wouldn't know about it. But it's been kind of the talk, especially in the United States, because it's going to cross parts of the United States in totality. So it's going to really be visible from Texas all the way up through Ohio is the arc. That does mean these areas are going to be potentially most affected by the eclipse energies, where we could see the most change, the most transformation, more events happening. In Vedic astrology, it is actually considered bad luck to watch an eclipse. So for those that, follow this, believe in the energies, believe in the planets, something to keep in mind. It's actually a really great time to meditate and get those messages that come through during meditation during an eclipse. So I would make the argument that that would be a great idea to do that and maybe not watch that eclipse even on TV. However, eclipse energies, they are going to impact us for the next 6 months, and they can be again impacting us 6 months before the eclipse. So keep that in mind. In terms of events, eclipse do have the greatest impact, which I kind of already glazed over. Um, they have the greatest impact on the areas that are in totality in the country that the eclipse is going through. So this eclipse is going through the United States, which is where we could see the most events over the next 6 months. So it can be disruption, it can be change. Now remember, disruption and change don't necessarily have to be bad. They may seem bad in the moment, but long term, they may be for the best of the country and the people within that country. It's all going to be in how you view things, how you look at things, how you handle events that come your way. Now, this eclipse is unique, and this only happens every like 18 years. This eclipse is also coinciding as the Vedic New Year chart. So each year we're able to do a chart for each country in terms of what the new year will hold. And it's always the new moon in Pisces, which is where this eclipse is happening, is in sidereal Pisces. Remember, I use sidereal. So what this says is it's going to be a year we're not going to forget quickly. It's going to be a year that really brings change. It brings transformation, kind of packs a punch. It's going to be a very memorable year. Add to that, in the United States, this is an election year for us. So past Vedic New Year charts, there's been, potential when there's been an eclipse in it, not past charts, but past Vedic New Year charts that also have eclipses in them. When we look back in history, there's been political events and upheaval that have happened. There's been riots, there's been terrorist events, there's been wars and militarization. There's been financial crises, as well as issues with floods, waterways, and oceans. Now, I don't know how many of you are watching the news, but if you have been, you will know about the bridge in Maryland that got taken out by a container ship. That is a huge shipping waterway. Baltimore is for those that don't know, Baltimore, Maryland is a massive port. It's one of the big ports in and out of the US for shipping and for bringing in items. So we're already seeing a potential with waterway issues. That will block the waterways for a little bit and slow down shipping. So just remember, a lot can happen. It's all in how you view it. And remember, this energy is in place for the next 6 months after the eclipse. And it can start beginning before. Now, I will point out, when that happened, there was a lunar eclipse that night, the 25th. So I'm just gonna leave that and let you do with it as you will. Now, for the Vedic New Year chart, the two key planets in the Vedic New Year chart this year, and this is based off of my country, which is the United States. So we're basing it off of Washington, D.C., which is the capital. So if you're doing a Vedic New Year chart, you base it off of the capital of the country. Two of the key planets are Mars and Saturn, which could bring potential for socio-political and economic instability, which is suggested by other transits as well. There is potential for, increases in crime, potential disasters, as well as potential for this current health crisis we're going through in terms of the mental and physical public health crisis. Again, it's all in how you look at it. You can make the choices for your life. You get to choose how you live your life. It's all yours for the making or breaking, so to speak. So just know this Vedic New Year chart may bring some chaos, may bring some unease and some unrest. Again, it's a presidential election year in the US, so that's adding another complicated, just know it's going to get a little funky. I will also say this Vedic New Year chart, inflation's still going to be in full swing, still going to be high. I think there's going to be a lot of potential for it to get worse before it gets better. And we're kind of already seeing the potential that also comes this chart of a real estate crisis. So I've been following a lot of I do the business side of stuff as well for my other side. I think, we're watching the commercial real estate begin to have issues, very similar to the 2006 crash with the residential. So just know there is potential for a real estate crash or potential banking crisis in this chart. Again, I'm not trying to instill fear in you. I'm not trying to scare you. There's a lot of good that can come out of periods like this. There's a lot of things that can be done. People can still very much thrive and succeed and build businesses and grow. It's just all in how you look at it. It's all in how you frame it. It's all in how you approach it. So really meditate, stay grounded. I think it's going to be more important than ever to kind of steer clear of the news who does want to get you riled up and get you in fear. So I just say avoid it unless you can stay truly objective about it. And that's up to you. This is, again, free will. It's your choice. You do what you need to do. So that's kind of broad interests around April. We've got some other things going on. April 10th, Mars and Saturn are going to be exactly conjunct in Saturn's sign of Aquarius. That can be a little more tense conjunction. They're not friendly planets to each other. They can represent explosive events, violence, and chaotic energy. However, there are positives. These two can be very high energy. It can be a good day for physical movement. Around that exact day of April 10th, a couple days before, a couple days after, not the best time to take risks. Don't be doing anything like, I don't know, I wouldn't recommend jumping out of a plane just for fun. Don't launch any new products that day if you own a business or any new plans. Kind of wait till after that energy passes, and just know you may snap a little more easily at people, because remember, you've also got Mercury retrograde. So we're adding all these energies together, and it's just going to be a lot this month. April 13th, the sun will move into Aries, getting it out of Pisces. It is the strongest sign the sun can be in. The sun is exalted in Aries. However, some say this can be too much of a good thing, because there can be such thing as too much of a good thing. So on the positive side, you'll be able to take more initiative. There's a lot of self-starting energy, a lot of projects. You got more energy to get projects completed. It can bring optimism and confidence. You may also find with the sun in Aries that you're more courageous and ambitious during this transit, which the sun will be in Aries from April 13th to May 14th. So the sun moves about once every month. It can also bring more innovative energy as well. Now, the flip side, because there's always the flip side, you should know this if you've watched, you may be a little more irritable. So just use patience, breathe in, breathe out, count to 10, don't blow up, don't burn any bridges. You're not, no pun intended. Just don't push anything that you will later come to regret. Now, Sun and Aries, the last thing I'll say is we may see leaders, political leaders, country leaders, pushing their agendas too strongly or trying to kind of like steamroll over others. We may see it in the US and Congress as well. Who knows? We'll see. Kind of get a little jump. April 22nd, Mars is going to transit into Pisces, and it will transit in Pisces until June 1st. Mars will be in the sign of a friend because it will be in Jupiter's sign. This can be a really great time to explore yourself, as well as kind of be your own best inspiration, almost your own amusement for a little bit. It's a great time to take quick action in pursuing your dreams and ambitions, and you may really have this ability to set positive goals for yourself. So if you didn't set goals in January 1st, now can be a great time to set them. It's almost a fresh start, a new year at this point as well. Key thing during this Mars in Pisces, just really manage your spending. And it's going to be very important because Mars may Jupiter likes to expand things. So you may overdraw your finances. April 24th, Venus is going to transit into Aries. It will stay and transit until May 18th. This can be a time of idealistic thinking. It can be a time of adventure, playfulness, and spontaneity. If you are single, just going to give you this heads up, do with it what you wish. Again, you have free will, but I'm just providing the information and you can do as you wish. If you are single, this this transit, you can be prone to falling into romances a little too quickly. Um, you may not see the potential issues, they may not show up. Just pump the brakes, slow down, take your time until Venus gets out of Aries. So once it's out May 18th, different energies are going to be there, but just slow down on the energies if you are single and you meet somebody during this transit. Um, for some, this energy can bring kind of the need to do it, kind of that my way or the highway, and it's not seeing any other way that will work. So just be cautious of this and really try to stay open and objective to other viewpoints, other ways of being, other way of doing things. For those in relationships, Venus in Mars sign of Aries can be a little harder on relationships. It can make, you more argumentative. So just keep that in mind. Maybe don't start big fights. Maybe don't get in, if you find yourself angry with your partner, step back, take a walk, say you need time to think and that you'll come back to the conversation. Just really keep that in mind. One thing to think about is as Venus moves into Aries, it will cross the powerful Gandanta point from April 23rd to April 25th, which can bring up more emotion. So we've got a lot that'll be going anytime you go from a water to a fire sign. So Pisces to Aries, which we've got a lot crossing through right now. And then it would be the next one is Cancer to Leo, and then Scorpio to Sagittarius. The last degree of the water sign, the first degree of the fire sign is considered the Gandanta point. It's an emotional knot. It can bring a lot of emotions up. It can bring extreme weather. It can bring flooding. It can kind of feel like you're drowning in emotions. If you have planets in these points natally, sometimes it can feel overwhelming and the emotions can feel like they're taking over. So just know these are powerful points. Last but not least, May 1st, Jupiter will be transiting from sidereal Aries into sidereal Taurus. It has been in Aries for the past year. It's going to bring a big shift in energy when it moves into Taurus, but you're going to have to come back or sign up for my newsletter because I give them more information and they're going to get a special newsletter mid-month about what to expect from Jupiter in Taurus. So we are in a very transformative month. April's going to be crazy. Hang on to your hats. Keep in mind, stay grounded, get fresh foods, get sleep. If you can avoid watching the eclipse, I would suggest it. I know I'm not going to watch it. I'm not in a state that is going to have totality, but if you can avoid watching it, I would probably suggest that. Now, the other thing we need to discuss are the sign predictions for each of the 12 signs for the month of April. So let's go. So Aries, this month, you may see your cash flow increase because opportunities present themselves to you. You may have more mixed feelings this month. It's going to kind of be a mixed month energetically for you, Aries. So it can be a great month to get out and socialize with friends and kind of make time and have fun and enjoy life. But on the other hand, there's going to be a part of you that is desiring that alone time. You want to be with your own thoughts. So just kind of know you got these two mixed energies and it's okay. I would say kind of do a mix of both. Have the time out with friends, but also make sure you're getting time to recoup and refresh. It's going to be really important to watch your back because there can be people who pretend to be your friend that do not have your best interests at heart. And it may not be the best time to kind of openly share your opinions, especially if you're doing it as a way to win others over. Key thing for you, avoid get rich quick schemes. Someone will get rich this month. Won't be you, and I wouldn't recommend loaning any money to friends unless you're okay with it being more of a gift and not a loan. You won't see it again. You won't get repaid. So that is for you, Aries. Taurus, this is a great month to promote yourself. It can be making it known about the projects you've accomplished at work or a project you are working on. Take action this month. Don't overthink decisions to the point of missing out on opportunities. It's going to be important to remember to respect your boss or any authority figures, actually, but your boss, since we spend a lot of time at work. It can be a good month to consider your career path and what you see as your next steps as well. Make that plan, start implementing, especially listen to above, and you'll find the times when it can be better to start implementing. If you are considering asking for a promotion or a raise, gauge your employer's reactions before making demands. Don't get yourself into a pickle. Um, for you, you may find yourself really thinking about your goals and expectations and where you want to go and what you want to do. This can include analyzing current goals and seeing if they still resonate or ever resonated with you. So, if you find that your goals aren't actually those that you want and they were placed on you by someone else, now is a really great time to think about what you want your goals to be moving forward. Gemini, this is a lucky month for you. You will find you're more inspired, but at the same time, you'll feel that you can't trust that inner knowing. It's really going to be important to trust your heart, trust your gut. They will not steer you wrong. Even if it feels like it sometimes, they don't. They always put you in the best spot for you. They're always looking out for your highest and greatest good. It is a month to break the links to those who are controlling you or trying to control you and tell you how to live your life. For you, authority figures will come across as demanding of your attention and respect, but kind of be aware their motivations may be more unclear or hidden. Don't get in fights with your boss or your father this month. The outcome will not be in your favor, so just don't start those fights, especially if you listened above to that information. Um, this can be a great time where you find yourself making plans for your career. It can be a great time to learn new things related to your profession that will help you grow into the future. You know, if you know you want to move up in your career, have that conversation with your boss, have that open conversation and see, what's expected in order to help you achieve your goals. Cancer support can come quickly this month, whether it be help from others or in the form of money. Just keep an eye open. This can be a great time to learn something new, sign up for a class that has been catching your eye, or, whatever. You're going to find you are more intellectually curious right now. And your curiosity about a topic may lead you to really dig deeper and learn more. You're also in a period where you're going to be more open to new ideas that come up in conversation and communication with others. Your mind is full of ideas and insights. Grab that pen and paper, write them down. Don't let them pass you by, because once they leave your head, they're gone. They won't. You probably won't remember them. So be sure to write them down. It can be paper. It can be in your phone in the notes section. Just make sure you get them down. For you, partially, you may feel a little more worried and vulnerable during this month. That will pass. And the other key thing for you is that it's really a good month to check in on your health, because you could find some health issues surfacing, but it's also a great month to do a cleanse or a detox for your health. Leo, for you, passion will be higher between you and your partner this month, whether it be marriage or business. Just be mindful that if it feels like your partner is attacking you or your character, that you let them release that steam, because they're probably projecting anger from others on you. Now, once they calm down, it's okay to have a conversation and make sure that is truly the case. Otherwise, it's a good thing to work it out. But for you, it's going to be really important to remain calm, cool, and collected to allow for a favorable outcome for you. For you, really focus on projects that can be completed quickly this month. Pay extra attention to the detail of contracts and agreements that you are signing. So make sure you cross your T's, dot your I's, read all the details, have somebody else look over it to make sure you didn't miss anything. Really another good month to look inward and be honest with yourself about anything that comes to mind. Maybe meditate during the solar eclipse and see what shows up in that meditation. Virgo, it's a great month to take the initiative to improve yourself and your skills. There can be more tension, however, and aggression at work, leaving you feeling a little unsettled, a little uncomfortable. But it is for you a really great month to begin that exercise regime you've been talking about. So stop talking, go act, go get on it. That exercise is also really going to help you release any tension building up within you. There are already so many studies about how much damage stress does to the human body. So try to keep that stress from building up. You can be more prone to overheating or getting sick with fevers or just heat this month. So just be mindful, put your health first. If you have pets, they may have some health problems this month, Virgo. So just keep an eye and know they might be a little more costly if that comes up. It's a really great time to make sure that your expectations are clear with your spouse, partner, or business partner. And if you are facing, a situation that requires a specialist's help, this is a really great time to reach out and consult them on how to proceed. Libra, make time to have fun this month. It can be playing with your kids or getting out and doing something fun or getting together with your friends. You may find that inspiration comes from like the most unexpected places or events or completely out of the blue or while meditating during the solar eclipse. Hint, hint. You will feel you have clearer vision during this period. This is really a month to show your passion. Now, don't make any rash decisions. Take the time, cool down, and sleep on them. Otherwise, you could come to regret those decisions if you're looking at big life decisions. You will be focused on health and work this month, and you can be more detail oriented right now and capable of managing work that requires more brain power. For you, you're focused on getting the practical work done, which is good. Get it done, see what you can get checked off. But you do have to be cautious, especially with Mercury retrograde, because you can be more critical of others this month. So try not to nitpick, try to pick the things that are truly important. Scorpio, this is a great month to make sure your home has a positive flow of energy and that there's nothing stagnating that energy. It's going to be important to maintain your responsibilities to family, work, and any education you may be doing. You could find there's a little tension around the home with arguments and disagreements. Step back and wait until tensions have calmed before having any conversations. Make sure you get your car checked out to avoid any expensive problems later and be cautious while driving. Again, mixed in with Mercury retrograde, this is even more true for you. It can be fun to add some new accessory to your home, and it's a great time to express your thoughts both honestly to yourself and others. Now, do it in a nice way. Don't be an ass about it. Language, sorry, but seriously, this is a really great time to make it clear where you stand and what you are thinking with yourself and others. But be sure you are being sensitive to others as you could enjoy pulling pranks this month that affect others more negatively. Sagittarius, this can be a great month to start working out as you're going to find that physical strength is really higher. Let your inner child out to play and enjoy the most of life. Use this time to express yourself through music, dance, writing, art, athletics. If you have siblings, don't pick fights with them this month. It's not going to go well for the two of you, three of you, however many siblings you have. This for you can be a really great month to focus on selling and self promotion. You may find yourself going kind of within to contemplate all the new ideas that you've encountered. Now, you could meditate during the solar eclipse on April 8th and see what else comes to you. Just an idea. But if you have important matters that need to be discussed with your family, now's a great time. Don't let this helpful energy pass you by. I always like to say, use the energy of the planets in your favor. Try not to work against it because it's just like going up against, a headwind. You want that tailwind. You don't want a headwind. At the same time, it's going to be really important to stay calm during your communication. So be the voice of calm and reason, but don't hog attention. Capricorn, you will find you are more direct this month, which does bring with it the need to watch what you say. Doubly more important with Mercury retrograde. Can't stress it enough. Just really mind your words. Being direct can have its benefits, but it can also get you in trouble if you don't take the time to think through what you are saying as well as who your audience is. It can be a great time for talking with others, but also be sure that you are truly listening to them. So listen to understand, don't listen to respond. You may find you are more impulsive with your spending this month, so be very mindful and really work to stick to your budget. It's going to be important to take that time to sit down and enjoy your meals in order to avoid any digestive upsets. So just leave time to eat, don't eat on the run. It can also be a great month to take a short course to learn new information, and you could find yourself meeting new people. Aquarius, you may find yourself in negotiations with others around property or money, or you may need to help others understand where you truly stand in terms of what you truly value. So you'll have more ambition and energy to accomplish your goals and to tackle things on your to-do list that may have been hanging over your head. Get them off that list. You have that ability to tackle these tasks that had seemed overwhelming before. Get them done while the energy is working in your favor. You really have that ability to complete unfinished projects more efficiently. So, really, again, take advantage of what I'm going to call the tailwind helping in your favor. The planets are giving you that positive energy, they are pushing you to help you. They are not doing a headwind. So, enjoy that tailwind. While you can do things more quickly this month, that does make you a little more accident prone. So, just no texting and walking, no texting and driving. I mean, you shouldn't text and drive anyways, but just be very mindful, very in the present. Don't multitask while moving around. Pace yourself so you don't get burned out. So use that energy, but also make sure you're getting enough sleep. You are going to need to watch your temper and take a breath before reacting on impulse. So count to 10 or take the night to sleep on it. Pisces, you will find you are more active this month. Excuse me, you may feel a need to get away and travel. It can be good to do a weekend trip to kind of reset your energy and scratch the itch, so to speak. Your mind may jump around from topic to topic very rapidly, which could confuse others, especially with, wait for it, Mercury retrograde. So just be sure that, ask if everyone understood what was going on, ask if everyone understood you, just check for comprehension and understanding so that no one gets left behind. For you, it's going to be important if you go on trips or even when you're leaving the house, just make sure your home is protected this month. Double check doors are locked, windows are locked before leaving the house. It can be a great month to get ahead on credit card debt and get ahead of any potential debt. So take the time, look over your finances, and reassess your budget as needed. This is especially important if you have not checked in on them in a while. So check in on them, check that budget, see where things stand, update the budget. You may find for you, Pisces, your sleep is more disturbed this month, kind of leaving you more tired. Unless your natal chart says otherwise, this is a passing influence. Cannot stress that enough. So just keep that in mind. As with anything, these are broad, high level, predictions. We'll call them predictions. Potential insights, potential things that can go on, probabilities. Astrology really is probabilities. It's using the planet energy in your favor. So we're going to use, I love airplanes, for those that don't know. So I'm going to say the planet energy working in your favor is like a tailwind. It's speeding you up, it's pushing you, it's making it easier. When you work against the planetary energies, it's like a headwind. It's going to slow you down. It's going to take you longer to get where you're going. So just use the energy in your favor. April's a crazy month, a lot going on. I know this is a longer video. If you made it all the way to the end, congratulations. Anyways, have a wonderful April. And if you're not signed up for my newsletter, sign up below before the Jupiter special thing comes out mid-month, and like and share this video if you found it helpful. Otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful April. It'll be what you make it. It'll be how you view it. So go with the flow, embrace change, and enjoy a beautiful, beautiful April month, even with its potential chaos. So I will see you guys in May.